Together, 4 of these giant Rolls-Royce Trent 900s cost nearly £36 million, a quarter of the cost of the plane. Back in May 2004, the engine flew for the first time. It was bolted onto a much smaller airliner, dwarfing its other engines. Weighing over 6 tons, the Trent 900 can produce up to 35 tons of thrust at full power, burning a gallon of fuel every 4 seconds. These early tests proved the engine at altitude, but there's a much, much tougher test to come. Here in Hucknall, Nottinghamshire, a second test engine will soon be a smoking ruin, deliberately destroyed as part of a dramatic yet vital safety test. It's an important time for the entire project, and as engineer Hilary Barton travels to the test, she admits to some nerves.
I must admit, I've got a few butterflies at the moment, but basically everybody's done the preparation and it's just now a matter of getting on and doing the test. But obviously before the engine starts, you're sitting there just kind of hoping it all go well, but just really waiting for it to happen now.
Every few years, a fan blade will break in a jet engine somewhere in the world, a rare but violent event that must not put lives in danger. At the root of the coloured blade is an explosive charge. With the engine at full power, it will be detonated, releasing the blade with tremendous force. Whatever happens, no large debris can be allowed to burst out of the engine casing. If it did, it could do serious damage to the rest of the aircraft. From the safety of a room 200 metres away, watching on video, 25 key personnel are waiting. In the split second the blade is released, the casing must successfully contain an enormous impact.
It is a very violent test. This thing is spinning around, it's at full power, so you've got the forces on the blade are quite significant. It's like having a locomotive hanging on that blade. So you're actually having to contain the energy of that system. So there's a lot of energy involved in the design and containment of the blade.
The engine is run for 5 minutes, so final checks can be made. With such an expensive test, nothing can be allowed to go wrong. High-speed film cameras are used to analyse the action, and at last the throttles are opened and the engine brought to its full, awesome power. This is what it feels like to be inside a building 200 metres away from a £9 million blade-off event. Blade-off testing is normally top secret, but for the first time, Rolls-Royce have released this footage. Although the engine was totally destroyed, the fan case did its job, and no large lumps of metal were ejected.